Welcome back to the Texas Boys News Network. I'm Texas Dad.
And this is Field Reporter Matt.
Field Reporter Matt, and we're bringing you news that matters.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Just remember, this is a comedy show, and we do not report the news. So, what's up with the Chinese spy balloon?
All I know is that they've been tracking it for way too long, and somehow our dog-faced pony soldiers haven't been able to get it down out of the sky.
So supposedly there's a...
We're just going to be talking about this.
We just wanted to ramble a little bit about the Chinese spy balloon. Because we live in an interesting world where supposedly the Chinese are trying to spy on us with like 1920s technology. And I did hear through the intelligence community, they intercepted the Morse code that was being transmitted by the Chinese spy balloon.
Really? Did they decode it?
Yes.
Properly?
And so it's very interesting. This must be some 20D chess type move.
Yeah, probably.
Where China is trying to insinuate that their technology is from like 1910 or something.
I think so. It's like
it's either that or the other angle that I heard is Joe Biden was daydreaming, and he was like, I remember in my mid-20s when I was reading the Hardy Boys mystery novels, and they had a spy balloon. Let's do that. Let's send up a weather balloon with some solar panels on it. And I don't know, y'all. I'm very confused by the fact that supposedly a Chinese balloon is in U.S. airspace,
just like hanging out, and the military's like, they're not really giving the American public like any. I don't know. They're not giving us any answers or what they're going to do about it, really. Correct?
Correct. And I'm still far more concerned over our government and all the alphabet agencies than I ever will be over China. Not to say that China is not being groomed as the heir apparent, just like we know from Tragedy and Hope and Carol Quigley's book and all that stuff. But it's just a very... interesting, bizarre, weird clown world story. Yeah. And I just thought we could talk about it just for a couple minutes.
Because me and you were talking about it. So supposedly it comes in through Alaska, where I guess some islands there or whatever.
Correct.
That's where they first saw it or whatever come in.
Yeah, and I mean, we have trillions, not without exaggeration, we have trillions of dollars worth of tech floating around up there, and all kind of surveillance and Starlink and et al. And everything else. And this thing kind of like all of a sudden, like we figure out that it's there when it can visibly be seen in the sky. It's just very...
So there were some people saying that it was just a weather balloon and it wasn't able to propel itself.
Correct. Yeah.
But then I guess when we shot our jets up there and we're looking at it, it can
obviously
maneuver
it can
around because hence why it's been able to float around over like the specific spot over Montana where our nukes are, or at least one of our nuclear spots are, which is very worrying. Also, the other thing that me and Dad were talking about too was nobody's been covering this, but nobody's even, or maybe they have and just haven't said it, but we were thinking about what if it was carrying a payload? I mean, it would be very easy for it to cover like a dirty bomb or something.
Obviously. It could obviously, it wouldn't have to carry a very large payload. Any type of dirty bomb that was just went off in the stratosphere up there where it is, or the hemisphere. I get my elevations confused. I think this thing is at 60,000 feet, but any
11 miles
type of dirty bomb at that elevation would create a huge problem, and it would create a really big problem over Montana, especially with what's located in Montana strategically as far as our military defense systems and all that stuff. Just the whole story
the whole thing is weird.
Bizarre, weird, antiquated, anecdotal.
Like the U.S. government wants it to like keep floating around there.
I don't know. It's baffling.
We woke up and then Dad was like, "Oh, there's this spy balloon floating around Montana." I'm like, "Shoot it down." I mean, that's most Americans probably said that, just shoot it down. But then, you know, when we kept researching into it, it's 11 miles up, so any normal farmers or hillbillies around here,
they've already tried to shoot it. I
tried to
promise.
shoot it, but you're just not going to be able to reach it with normal ammunition. But the other thing that us boys were talking about, if it's a weather balloon, those things are pretty delicate, and
Incredible.
a high-powered laser could take the thing down.
We have.
But I mean,
we have so much tech to just disable the thing. We wouldn't have to take it down. We can easily jam it. We can infrared it. We can laser it. We have like. We have tech from the 70s that could disable and disarm that thing
instantly,
and it could just be a floating bunch of junk up there.
Yeah,
so the whole thing is very interesting. It's confusing.
They said that they can't take it down right now because it's floating over
Billings,
and
they're worried about collateral damage.
Yeah, and I guess
the debris from the debris field.
But why couldn't we taken it down before it was floating over Billings?
Well, great question. Like when it was floating over all these non-populated areas, which
Montana.
we had to have known about it. I mean, we've
on.
had to known about this like way before it ever got to even airspace over Alaska.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's
so
we live
weird.
in clown world. It's bizarre. Hey, comment down below. Let us know your thoughts, feedback. It definitely plays into this whole geopolitical shenanigans and, you know, China bad and all this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, it's like trying to recycle the Wu flu thing. And now we all know the antithesis of where that actually came from, who funded it and all that stuff, and the leaks and all that stuff. So that kind of destroyed the narrative. And I'm not saying that China is virtuous by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm not saying that there isn't potential problems. But once again, I just want to reiterate, I am far more concerned about homegrown alphabet agencies and individuals and all these cats and critters than I am about some 1920 Chinese spy balloon.
Oh, my word.
Like I did hear that the next phase of the Chinese spy balloon is going to be a Led Zeppelin. I think they procured some from 1940s Germany.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
So they're going to be sending over a Led Zeppelin.
That's what James was saying, one of my brothers. He was like, what stops, if it is a Chinese spy balloon, which we think it is, and I guess China came out and was like, yep, that's our balloon, you know, it floated off course.
It's a souped up weather balloon. Like we could launch
exactly.
one of those.
So what's stopping them from sending over like a couple hundred of them? You know?
Obviously.
I mean, like what? We're not doing anything now.
Yeah.
It's like they're like, I don't know. It just seems like the Chinese were like, oh, watch this. Watch all the stupid Americans over there
And according
and not
to
be able
China,
do anything.
it is theirs. They're saying it got off course, so why not shoot it down? I mean, hey, your thing, it malfunctioned or whatever. It's not where it's supposed to be. It's in our space, so we can shoot it down. This isn't an act of war. We're just getting rid of it. We're getting rid of the potential problematic parts of it. And I mean, anybody that's rational or reasonable would understand that. But that doesn't fit any kind of narratives.
No.
We got to have all this, you know, World War III
China
narrative.
hype, you know, hype it up.
Yep.
Start a war over it.
But that's just our thoughts, and
It's
very humorous. It's interesting.
Definitely.
And it's weird. And we live in clown world. We do live in 1984. So check out our merch shop. We have some interesting, funny T-shirts.
Go green, compost the globalist, and
You will learn nothing, eat the bugs, and be happy.
Klaus Schwab,
Eat the
Uncle
bugs,
Klaus,
Uncle Klaus.
signed by Uncle Klaus, and then we got coffee, honey, all types of stuff over on the TexasBoys.com.
Don't forget about our Rumble account. Please sign up for our Rumble,
Yep.
and the link is down below.
just in case we get booted off the old YouTube.
Yeah, in case we get booted off again. They like to boot people.
Absolutely. Also, we got amazing candles too, just like the one that's
If you
burning.
don't think properly, they boot you.
Yep, exactly. All right, y'all. Love y'all so much. We'll see y'all in the next video.
Have a great day.
We'll
Bye-bye.
see y'all.